and thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my partner in crime, my esteemed colleague. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Eric Dalala.
What up, Phil?
Yo, what's good?
What's happening?
What's the tone over there?
Dude, moves are being made.
Yeah, always.
It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
The NFL, Phil,
Never stops.
It's kind of like me, never sleeps.
That's true. There's always something going on.
There's always some piece of news. There's always some sort of shift.
Yeah.
Big ones this week.
Yeah. Biggest thing going on sort of in my world is the fact that this beard is living on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know for how much longer, though.
Yeah. Is it supposed to, I'm not asking, people are asking, is it supposed to also kind of be on the front and all the sides? Or what happens there?
It's not what you would describe as a full coverage.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't look great, in my opinion.
Is it going to get there, you think, or?
I don't know. I thought maybe some people believe if you kind of leave it and just continue to trim it, it'll look more full. But I don't know if that's the case for
your face.
For me.
For your particular face.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you call this area for those watching?
A chin?
But I think a chin is a very upper chin.
Upper chin.
Lower lip.
Yeah, lower lip area. That's mine is
it doesn't look
cold.
like it's going to happen.
It's a little cold.
It's chilly.
Yeah.
Ben Swanson, that's where his beard is thickest, is right in that area.
Yeah. I think for a really solid looking beard, that area is going to look nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe get some Sharpie.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I could just grow the other areas really long and it'll eventually cover.
It'll cover it?
Yeah. I don't know. The hair is thriving. It's long.
Nice.
It's really long, and
maybe you just take
built
some
for this weather.
You cut a little bit of that out, tape it on down there.
Yeah, I was going to say glue, but tape could work too.
Toupee.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice. It could help.
Yeah. I of course have never shaved in my life, but some
people the scruff looks good too. I don't know if I'm one of those guys either.
You don't know. I'm
not sure. It's not that it just doesn't come in. It's just it doesn't look great. Do
you want me to disagree with you here?
No. You can agree with me. Yeah.
What should I do?
So, but I'm in off-season sort of mode. I
do think with the beard, though, at some point when you get the touch of gray, I think it'll look nice with the scruff. I think it'll look nice.
I'm sort of trying to turn into a professor,
Yeah.
That kind of look is what that's kind of a good look for me, I think.
You're like, I've left an equation on the blackboard.
Yeah. Who solved this? Yeah. And then I find out,
And it's the salary cap.
It's a salary cap.
Yeah. Who fixed it? How do you fix this?
Who solved this? Yeah. I should leave that outside our office. Yeah.
Ben Swanson. He'll be ready.
Ben Swanson. He'll be ready. Yeah. How do you like these apples? How do you like these paintbrushes?
These paintings.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Eric, of course, though, today on the football front.
Oh, there's football. Yeah. I forgot.
I think that we could discuss now that the Broncos division, the coaching situation has been solidified for all four teams moving forward, assuming no changes in Kansas City.
That's true. Are you expecting him to get fired?
Not fired, but I mean, if they win it all, maybe he'd be like, he's good for me. But
yeah,
I doubt that.
I think last year he was asked about that. Andy Reid, of course.
Yeah, he was like, no.
And he was like, where did this come from?
I coach football and eat cheeseburgers.
I think
and
sometimes win Super Bowls. Yeah, unfortunately, I think sometimes when somebody just has a lot of success for a long time and there's no drama, people are just like, well, what can we?
Let's make up something.
Speculate?
Yeah, exactly.
And Mike Florio, he is so tremendous to me because he just puts these crazy things into the world. And it's not. He's not reporting them. He's just like, whatever. Has anyone ever thought about this?
Yeah. And
it'll be like, oh, Mike Tomlin has had so much success that maybe they should get rid of him.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Knows?
It's good for the internet.
It is good. Yeah.
But I would be surprised if Andy Reid goes anywhere. That would certainly change the division. But for now, Phil, looks like we've got
all four solidified.
Yeah, and. 2 Super Bowl winning head coaches.
Oh, yeah.
3 who have been to Super Bowls, 1 conference championships.
1 college championship.
Yeah, he's part of the 3.
Coach. Yeah.
And then I believe Antonio Pierce won a Super Bowl as a player
with the New York Giants.
Yeah. Did he win? Was he on both of those teams?
I know they at least won 1. I don't know if I just know that he has won a Super Bowl.
What do you
That's
think,
what I know.
though? If you had to think about it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
That's good for you, Antonio.
Yeah.
So some proven winners now, and then kind of an up-and-coming guy that was a position coach and made the most of his opportunity as an interim.
And that the players really...
They loved him.
Played hard for and really had an attachment there. So
Max Crosby basically
makes
said,
a lot of sense.
if you don't hire him...
I want out of here.
We'll have to see what happens.
Let's go bye-bye.
Yeah.
So...
And when the Condor speaks...
I think you got to listen to your star players. I think that's sort of an important thing.
To listen.
To listen to your stars. To say, hey, what do you think? They're in the locker room. They're in those meeting rooms. They know the vibe of their teammates.
So you're big into astrology. You listen to the stars.
Yeah. Nice. Exactly. The moons. Who's a moon? A team doesn't have enough moons. Warren Moon. Yeah, you could do. Yeah. Could be nice. So we'll just talk about what the state of the coaching situation is in the AFC West and what that means for your Denver Broncos.
What does it mean, Phil?
Yeah, what does it mean? I think we'll also have a voicemail later on in the show, Eric.
Okay.
This is sort of an interactive type of a show. This is sort of what we believe in.
We hold...
That it's for.
Yeah. It's for the people by us.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes if you leave a voicemail, it's by the people.
That's true. And, Phil, you can do that by leaving a voice message at 707-NEUTRAL. You can leave an email at neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. You can tweet at us directly on x.com, at Eric Delilah with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH, with our non-traditional spellings. Or, Phil, you can head on down Candy Cane Lane.
Yeah.
Go past the Gumdrop Towers.
I like that.
And
the Gumdrops, I'm trying to think of anything else that I remember.
Any other candies. Yeah.
That wasn't the one where, if you made the wrong roll, you'd have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Chutes and ladders.
That's kind of a chutes and ladders situation.
Yeah.
I think there are some other things that happened to you in Candyland.
Yeah, maybe you...
Potential pitfalls.
Yeah.
On your journey.
I think it's a good life lesson. You never know when you could fall into the chocolate river.
Yeah, exactly. Get a black licorice.
Oh.
Although I like black licorice.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the professor vibe.
I'm a big fan. The anise flavor, that's sort of what I like. Yeah.
Yeah. When your sibling as a kid, you're kind of like, am I going to have a nephew or a niece?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a niece.
You like it? You like a niece?
Yeah, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good. Where were we going? Oh, you head down to the YouTube.
You come out over the official Broncos YouTube
Official
page.
Broncos YouTube. You scroll down in the neutral zone. You watch it.
Yeah.
Some people, Phil, they like to watch on 2x speed, get it done fast, so you can watch another one.
Fast.
I like to listen to it on 0.5 so I can savor it.
Real deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's already nice down and low here, but you go half, it goes way.
And then you
yeah, then you
and we'll read
first
it.
You smash subscribe.
Yeah, of course.
And the bell tolls.
We'll read them.
Yeah, no, we'll go ahead and read. 2 weeks ago, Eric, the people were upset and mean.
Were they? They were mean?
2 weeks ago.
They were mean.
2 weeks ago. Mean. Really, really, really.
Okay.
But last week, nice. The people came to our defense.
It was a good week for comments.
It was nice. It was a good episode last week, I think. Alec Baldwin, 27.
What?
Alec Baldwin, 27. I don't know if he listens. He says, I love the chemistry you two have. You always make me chuckle with your dry humor. Dry humor.
Yeah. Okay.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Did you have
Thank you, Alec.
Alec Baldwin, 27. Yeah. I think he is in a little bit of hot water in New Mexico right now. A grand jury, I believe, has decided to move forward with the case against him. But Alec Baldwin actually has a podcast that he does that's really nice. I kind of enjoy some good interviews there, but we'll have to see what happens.
To our general counsel, I was not involved in that segment.
Oh, you think that we're in hot water over that? I don't think so.
to be.
Cindy H303. 303. Cindy.
Okay.
Cindy.
Not
Sydney.
Not Sydney.
I don't know who that is. NZ is my favorite podcast. Some people were just cranky at the end of the season and taking it out on you. I will really be looking forward to your weekly NZ episodes continued throughout the off season.
Thanks.
Don't
Cindy.
leave me hanging, and we won't do that.
We would never.
Robbie Patzer, 5967. Robbie Patzer. Love you guys. Y'all are the best.
Woo.
Justin Alvarez, 9179. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Dominic Cavazos says thanks for the shout out. Give him a nice shout out. Jay Presbrock. I think you'll like this one, Eric.
Okay.
Eric does have a nice quarter zip collection.
Wow. Thanks.
What do we think about today's? I don't think that's from a golf course, but
this is
Nebraska, huh? You went there?
Some nice cats.
Nebraska.
Kind of a cat person, not a cat.
Oh, yeah.
Person. Cats person.
NC State?
Sure.
What is that? I don't see any purple over there.
It's a Chicago flag inside the Northwestern logo. It's like your mind can't even understand what's happening.
Whoa.
You know how cold Chicago is? That's why it's white.
Oh, God, because it froze
snow.
over.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cold there.
New stadium coming for you guys, huh?
Ooh. The
Wow.
demolition has begun at Ryan Field.
GGG15. You guys don't need to change a thing. A lot of haters out here. Thank you very much. Trip Nibs, 5984. He makes fun of my beard.
Well, I thought he complimented it.
No. This guy says it's a fuzz. He kind of makes it, and he says that it doesn't look good.
Oh, I thought there was some nice comments about your beard.
I didn't. No. Rocky Suds Detailing.
Uh-huh.
You guys are awesome, even though you stopped reading my questions. What?
Rocky,
No,
I
we
think the
didn't.
internet's, I think they're trying to censor you.
He says, put it this way, fellas. If you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right.
That's true.
Then he wants to know, what do you think about Penix or Bo Nix? Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
He says, maybe follow what the Packers have done. Of course, the Packers have had a lot of success here with their quarterbacks.
Draft a Hall of Famer, smart.
They're drafting guys, let them sit a couple years, maybe 1 year, then
Maybe
boom.
3 years, 4 years.
He says, what do you think about that? Rocky Suds wants to know, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll get more into the draft, Phil. It's a different situation because the Packers had Brett Favre at the time. They had Aaron Rodgers.
Brett Favre, is that what you said? Favre, yeah.
Yeah, Super Troopers, I think.
What? No, that's from something about Mary.
I know, but the guy in Super Troopers.
Farva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Huh? Okay.
Different with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. You had a guy.
Yeah. That's true. You can be like
It
patient,
depends
a
if
little
the
more
Broncos
patient.
want to bring back
Although-
Russell Wilson. You can maybe do it, but otherwise,
They took a risk though, taking Love in the first round, right? Like that's
yeah,
they sort of go out of their way
made
to
Aaron
find
grumpy.
these guys.
Made him grumpy.
Yeah, but now they might have another full career of great quarterback play ahead of them.
That's true, and they'll get a Super Bowl.
So anyway, what do you think about getting one of those guys and having them sort of hang out for a little bit?
I just answered that.
I know, but you agree with that philosophy in general? Or you like it when they play right away and come in and learn?
Well, I just think that those guys sat a long time.
Yeah.
But they didn't just sit 1 year.
No.
Jordan Love essentially sat, 3 years?
Was it 3? Is that what?
I think he got drafted in 2020.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that is. I don't know if this town has the patience.
This town's
town.
not big enough to sit a quarterback.
This dusty old cow town. What do you think?
I just told you twice.
I'm saying in general, do you like learning being thrown into the deep end? Do you like that by a quarterback, or do you think they should
the
play
first
right away?
year? But I don't think they need to play week one. I'm not opposed to them playing week one.
Yeah.
But I think it takes a very specific situation for you to need to sit for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I agree.
Do you want me to answer it one more time? Was 3 good?
So you think that this is a good... Because you see, like C.J. Stroud, a lot of success. Peyton Manning, of course, set the interception record for a rookie, and that turned out okay for him.
It did.
And so there's just two ways you can go about it. I think that if the guy's not quite ready and like doesn't have the confidence, then they start seeing ghosts out there and they're sort of wrecked permanently. Build some bad habits. You don't want that to happen, but also I do think you got to play to learn it. There's nothing like being out there in the real deal.
That's true.
Although now they have those virtual reality headsets. Eric, I think you have. I was like trying to get your attention the other day, and you were like, "Sorry, I got my headset on."
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the next press conference.
Yeah, that's what yours are like.
On my left, I can hear somebody speak. I'm like, "Oh." That's what mine's like.
That's what it's like, huh? Yeah. Just get it better.
What do you think about with a quarterback, if they should play right away or if they should wait a little bit?
I think that they should play right away.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what
And with a quarterback, do you think they should play right away? Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
They should play.
Okay. Who asked that? Rocky Suds?
Yeah.
We answered your question 8 times.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And I know that he missed when we answered a couple times because he was cleaning Swanson's truck.
Yeah, the F-8550.
Yeah, with the helicopter. Like Rocky brought in the helicopter.
Yeah.
He had to just get everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And nice and
gun rack.
Detailed. Yeah. The whole thing just had to get
it all cleaned
detailed,
up.
Sud. Yeah. So we always read Rocky Suds.
Of course.
Yeah. So
sometimes we answer it 8 times.
Yeah. Let's get into our most important topic for this episode of the Neutral Zone.
How many times will we talk about it?
This is the number one topic for this show, and that is the coaching situation in the AFC West is now set in stone, maybe. I guess is a good way to say it, with the hiring of Jim Harbaugh.
Nailed it.
Oh, my gosh. Take 2. Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, too many Harbaughs.
There's 2 of them.
Too many. John Harbaugh is still playing, so that's why I got confused. His team is still playing. I mean, he's still coaching.
He's a coach. He coaches.
His team is still playing.
A famous saying that I like, Phil: "Players play, coaches coach."
Who said that?
Me.
It's famous. Where did it originate from?
That's why it's famous.
Socrates.
That's why
I think came up with that. Socrates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It makes you think. You're like.
So John Harbaugh, while playing for the Ravens, is coaching the Chargers.
He's just still in my head. I was just
rent free or what? What's happening there?
No,
He's paying a little bit.
I think there was I saw him talking yesterday.
Special assessment in your head.
Yeah. So Jim Harbaugh is coming over to the Chargers, Eric. Yeah. Of course, he is a very accomplished head coach, known for building programs up. Teams that have had a little bit of a bump in the road. He's able to galvanize, get them through the hardship.
Struggles.
And they come out on the other side strong. And he's done this at Stanford.
Fortified by milk.
Yeah. None of that 1%
he was before
skin.
Stanford. Was he not at San
Diego?
Oh, yeah.
Not San Diego State, San Diego.
Okay.
Did the same thing there. Got them growing. Went up to road. Got them rolling.
Oh, rolling. Okay.
Yeah.
Our friend Ike went there.
No, I don't think so. He's from San Diego. Yeah. Ike went to a little place called Colorado State.
Well, playing, coaching, living, going. I thought
one of the things I like to say is
careful here.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so he did it at San Diego, did it at Stanford. Then he just went across the road over to the 49ers. Did the same thing there, got them to a Super Bowl. Went over to Michigan.
Against John Harbaugh, who was playing in that game.
Yeah, the little bit of brotherly rivalry going on there. John Harbaugh won that one.
That's true.
Could have been the Broncos in that one. I don't like to talk about it, but it could have been. Anyway, and then Jim went to Michigan. Michigan for a long time could not get over the hump. Wow. Then they started taking care of business against Ohio State.
I thought you were going to say something about Connor Stallions. You're like, then they got this guy?
And then this year they won it all.
That's true, Phil. I believe 8 years in Michigan. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
I think.
You
so,
don't even have to be true.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think about 8 years.
You think it, so it's true.
Yeah, now he's kind of maybe flirted with the NFL a little bit.
He has. Every year, the last couple of years, it seems like he's...
Every single year the last 2 years.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every single year the last 2 years. Yeah, the
Minnesota,
the Vikings brought him in.
Yep. And
then, he was linked to Denver a year ago, and now he's found a home.
And he took the jump back into.
I did see that our I would say good friend Parker Gabriel.
Oh yeah,
he made a point that is maybe humorous, interesting. That a year ago at this time, people linked Jim Harbaugh to Denver, and everybody said, "Oh, maybe Sean Payton would be interested in the Chargers job."
Ooh,
and now it's a little switcheroo. Sean Payton in Denver, Jim Harbaugh in LA. Phil, he's obviously a very good coach, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
and has built tough teams. I think John Harbaugh recently said he's the best program builder he thinks in all of football. I think for the Broncos, this is obviously it could be a challenge, another obstacle. I think if anybody can get the Chargers to maybe not Charger, it could be a Jim Harbaugh, just because I feel like he builds kind of the same way Sean Payton wants to, these tough, gritty, mentally sound, those types of football teams.
Yep.
I feel like that's what his plan will be there for the Chargers. I believe the Broncos have won several in a row.
Yeah, swept them last year. Swept them last year. That's what
2023 is still. You put that in the past. That's a last year.
It's 2024.
Yeah, but the season is still going.
Last season for the Broncos are already on to the next season. There's only 4 teams that it's still going for.
I would say swept them this season, personally.
You would say this season, huh?
Yeah.
Swept them this season.
And then
when does that change for you? The
when the
calendar
schedule
year?
comes out.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
When the new schedule comes out, maybe when free agency starts, new league year, you're on to 2024.
Yeah. Okay.
But
right now, there's no season for the Broncos.
Okay. It's always the season.
It's always season.
There's never an off season.
It's always football season.
I think that this is, you can expect the Chargers to be more of a difficult test moving forward. And it'll be interesting to see, if it happens immediately. It tends to take some time to build a program all the way up to like that championship type team. But I would say similar to how Sean Payton quickly fixed some things for the Broncos, you could probably see that in LA as early as next year.
I think that what's amazing about this league, Eric, is that every year perceptions about a football team just can change 180. Like last year, everybody was so high on the Chargers. Man, what a job that would be if they decided to move on from Staley there. Of course, they didn't until the middle of the season. But just that last offseason, that period, everybody was talking so highly about the Chargers. Now Harbaugh jumps into that, and they're like, man, this guy's got some work to do. Like they got a lot of salary cap, a
lot of calories there
with that whole milk. But they got some salary cap things that they need to make some decisions on. They got some older players, some veteran guys on that roster. But I think that the bottom line is in this league, when you have a guy like Justin Herbert, you're going to have a chance to be really good. So I think that that's what makes it appealing. I think that Harbaugh, he played for the Chargers, of course, and so familiar with that franchise. And, I think that this is a nice hire for them. We've seen that he got over the hump at Michigan. Maybe that's something he was waiting, or he was like, hey, I've got unfinished business here. I don't want to make the jump until then. And then, last year was sort of interesting for Harbaugh. He was suspended there at the end of the season. Some sort of scandal always sort of hovering around Michigan the last couple of years. And then now he, takes the jump here into the NFL. And no doubt about it, those teams are going to be more mentally tough, like just sort of a hardened sort of confidence that Jim Harbaugh himself has. I think about him as this fiery guy. You see his locker room speeches or like his team meetings. He seems like he brings that energy, and that's something that when you're in the Chargers position, that could really revitalize that organization.
Yeah, and with the Chiefs, just kind of always being around, it feels like, with Mahomes and Reed. You've now got Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. You've got Antonio Pierce in Las Vegas, who, kind of a non-traditional route to being a head coach. But
and we like non-traditional here.
Of course. There's clearly a toughness, a grit, like an attitude that he has that transfers really well to his players. I mean, I just think it speaks to that the challenge of the AFC West is going to be as difficult as it's ever been. And for the Broncos to get back to the playoffs, you got to play well in the AFC West and at least go 3-3 probably. And it's going to be tough. I mean, that's not to say the Broncos can't do it. I still believe in, obviously, what Sean Payton can build here. And I think that if you're Jim Harbaugh or you're Andy Reid or you're Antonio Pierce, you probably look at the Broncos and say, man, they're going to be a well-coached football team.
Yeah, they said the same thing last year, probably when Sean Payton came here, like, oh, gosh, now we got to deal with him.
Yeah, and but this is just going to be every week in the division, there's storylines, really good head coaches going up against each other. We already mentioned Andy Reid and Sean Payton have won Super Bowls. Jim Harbaugh's been there, won a national title.
And, I mean, Andy Reid is like a Hall of Famer at this point. You know what I mean? So he's like not just a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's one of the best of all time. And, you could start to make that argument for Sean Payton, depending on how things go here with the Broncos and Harbaugh, the national championship and the reputation for building. And then Antonio Pierce is sort of that one guy in the division that not as accomplished already as those other guys, but he's just starting out. So you don't really know what kind of head coach he can eventually become. I think that when you have that interim title, things are a little different. You know what I mean? Like you haven't gone through the offseason program, the training camp, all that kind of stuff. So I think that he's the one guy who still a little bit of an unknown, but you know that the guys love him there and they're going to play hard for him. So, every week it's going to be something. And I think Harbaugh, the fun thing about him is that he always brings a little edge.
Yeah, there's always he likes to have the little rivalries.
So playing him twice a year, he's probably going to say something at some point that like kind of gets spicy. Of course, Sean likes to kind of do the similar type of thing. So I think this is going to be a fun division, too, just in terms of the personalities at the coaching positions.
Yeah, and you want to watch good teams go up against each other. But it's going to be a challenge. There's some divisions, Phil, where if you're a decent team, you've got a chance to make the playoffs and kind of roll through some other teams. That's not what this division has been like the last few years, and certainly not what it'll be like moving forward with the coaches you have. And I think if I were Denver, I'd feel even better now about having Sean Payton, because I think to keep pace in a division like this, you need a proven guy. You need kind of that big-time presence in the head coaching role.
The Broncos have theirs.
So the fact that the Broncos have found that guy is a good sign. Now there's work to be done, and the roster needs to be built and all that. But I think you feel good about, hey, we got the right guy at head coach, and going against Jim Harbaugh, going against Andy Reid, you need to feel good about that guy.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that the work that's been highlighted that needs to be done for the Broncos this offseason, you're encouraged just the fact that I think you can sort of trust the direction that Sean Payton wants to take. Certainly saw that growth in year one. And like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, it takes time, usually to build these rosters in the direction that you want to. The Broncos already have a year under their belt of heading in that direction. So I think that it's just sort of an exciting time to be an AFC West football fan. And I think everybody can agree outside of the Kansas City area that it's time for a change at the top.
Yeah.
But, man, the Chiefs just keep finding a way, Eric.
They do, Phil.
It's kind of like when you got that guy, it's really good. the coach and the quarterback. When you've got those two pieces, really anything could happen.
especially when the quarterback is probably a top 5 football player of all time.
Of all time, yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's not invincible. There's ways to beat him. The Broncos
beat him.
They beat him this year. Got to build up a team to win consistently and get the Chiefs' name off the AFC. I like to imagine there's like a trophy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the
there's a hat,
the Quad Wizard
T-shirt,
cup.
Oh yeah, the try.
Well, try means 3, so
yeah. Did you say
quad.
try?
I said quad.
Oh, you wanted to say quad. Oh,
there's 4 teams.
Just when I hear the word quad, I just immediately think tossing the disc.
Tossing the disc.
Yeah. So I zoned out after
hacking the sack.
You say quad, I'm just zoned out.
You more of a disc or a hacky sack type of guy?
A disc.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the hacky sack.
You like a hacky sack?
Yeah, I don't think people hack the sack as much as they used to.
Really?
I think spike balls kind of replaced that.
Oh, I'm not a huge spike ball. Because whenever I see other people playing spike ball, they're not actually playing. They're just chasing the ball. They're like, oh, I gotta go get it.
I gotta go get the ball.
The actual amount of time playing, not
what I'm looking for. I've never played it, so I can't speak too intelligently on it. So that's why I'm going to keep talking. I think the goal is to hit the ball into the net, like the little sphere net.
And the other person can't get it, right?
Right, but it seems like that'd be really easy, just like barely touch it, right?
Yeah, you could do that too, but then they they can just get it too.
Well,
and
you
they
just tapped it and then it died on the net.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of reminds me of Foursquare. You ever play Foursquare as a kid? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, that's not a fair serve.
Yeah,
Too much
exactly.
Spin.
Too much spin. I'm like, no.
I'm like, get back in line.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Life's not fair.
Yeah. I'm like, line, I was in. I got intense.
Of course it did. You wanted to stay in that king spot, you know.
We used to play Foursquare. There are 2 Foursquare courts right next to each other. You had to win. You had to become the king in the one game to even get in line for the other game.
Oh, there's like a varsity and JV.
Like you had to prove that you could be in that spot to get in line.
Oh, otherwise you get like relegated back.
Exactly. There's Foursquare relegation.
It's like the Premier League of
Foursquare. Yeah.
Wow.
Why stop at 4 squares though? You know.
Oh, that would be crazy. What would you do? 16?
You'd have people in the middle. That would be
a little crazy. 9. I guess you could do a 9, maybe. I don't know.
There'd still be people in the middle.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Maybe 4 squares.
Maybe
all
that's a max. Yeah, I think Socrates worked on that too.
NASA did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Aristotle. Yeah, he came up with the 4 square. He was like, "This is as good as it gets." Then somebody tried to come along with this net thing, and
yeah.
No, I'm not about that. Yeah.
Kind of look like a golden retriever just chasing your ball the whole time.
Exactly. You kind of look like that, yeah.
Like, you guys playing spike ball, or you just kind of watching somebody else chase a ball?
Exactly. That's just
playing fetch.
Yeah. And you can't really have a beer in your hand and play that.
Oh.
You know, so it's just not for me.
Maybe that's what the beer helmet's for.
Oh, yeah. Security.
Yeah, just maybe a nice Camelback. Not a sponsor.
Could do it. Not a sponsor, but could do it. Yeah. That's true. I don't know what the foam situation would be like there, but it wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
How did we start talking about the net?
That's a good question.
Don't really know. It doesn't really matter, though.
Oh, the quad.
Oh, yeah, the quad.
Yeah.
The
quad
tournament.
Team Cup for the AFC West.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, what do you think about, so obviously Harbaugh's coming in. What do you think that he'll be able to bring there? Like, what do you think that his, what do you think the energy is going to be
like repeating the same thing
Yeah,
today.
but just like we haven't really got into what Harbaugh, like more about him specifically.
Yeah, we talked about
like he's going to be able to rebound that offense mistakes. A little bit, you think? Or, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we did talk.
We talked about it. That's kind of nice.
Did we do enough of the Antonio?
We're going straight to the medical center when we get out
we
of
do
here.
enough of the Antonio? You like?
I think so.
What we've talked about there? I guess you want to get the voicemails, don't you?
About you.
You want to go to the voicemails, don't you?
Do you not remember we played the voicemail already?
No, we didn't. I would not forget a Zach with a C voicemail.
All right, run the voicemail.
Run the voicemail.
Guys, off-season confessions. Number 1 was Zach with a C. So, years ago, and I had to do a lot of thinking about this, a lot of time again. I know I came after Eric about being a plant. I apologize. I think I might be the issue with the Broncos. So this all goes back to years ago when the Broncos were winning everything. Peyton Manning was throwing 50 touchdowns a year. And, I had a conversation with a friend, and I said, I kind of look forward to the day where the Broncos don't have Peyton Manning, because it'll be exciting to watch football and not know what's going to happen. Whereas, you have Peyton Manning, you're playing, the Bills in 2015, you're going to win. You're playing, the Chargers in 2015, you're going to win. I want to come clean, and maybe this will bring good luck to the Broncos this year, because I at one point had the thoughts of when Peyton leaves, it'll be fun to watch on the edge of my seat every weekend. But I'm done with the edge of the seat, man. That edge of the seat, it fell off. It broke. I'm on the floor, I want to sit on the couch again. Yeah. Anyhow, roll country.
Zach, thank you very much for the voicemail. I think that's good enough. He's come clean. He can sleep easy now. He's confessed. I don't know why you would think that. I liked it when Peyton, just show up and take care of business, go home.
Say honesty is the best policy. I probably would have kept that to yourself.
Oh,
Zach. Yeah.
But maybe he felt responsible, because he was holding this in. It was sort of leading to the Broncos' demise.
Maybe. I will say that there is an element of when you're so good, let's take the Cowboys, for example.
You just wait till the postseason.
Nothing for them matters until the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
Not a single game.
Yeah.
And if, they can have a huge win over the Eagles, they can win the division, they can beat the Niners. I don't even know if they play the Niners.
You just got to wait.
They have to, I think. But
yeah.
It doesn't matter. And that can make the regular season kind of feel boring.
Meaningless.
And I, of course, Phil, as we've talked about before, grew up an Indianapolis Colts fan.
Oh, yes, you did.
And that is what a lot of seasons were like, especially before they won the Super Bowl for the first time. It was okay, you win 13 games, and then you lose to the Patriots. You win 12 games, and then you lose to the Patriots. You win, and it was until you get to the postseason and beat this team in the postseason, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
And so I think that Zach is right to some degree and it was probably the same way here in Denver. You lose to Baltimore in the playoffs. Okay, well, can we just get back? And then you lose to Seattle. Okay, can we just get back? And then until you actually win it, the expectations just get higher. And I do think part of the fun of the NFL is week to week you can beat anybody. The win over the Chiefs this year, that 5-game winning streak felt really fun because it hadn't been done in a while. Whereas the Chiefs, they went 11-6, and it was a disaster there.
Yeah.
And so it is kind of how the other half live when you have that
champagne problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it changes, I think, your experience as a fan. When you're in the middle of the pack, the regular season matters a lot more and is fun, I think, week to week. You're oh, can we beat this team? Hey, it's a big win over the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
If you're, the Niners this year, you beat they played the Commanders, I think. You beat the Commanders. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Just
win in the playoffs.
Yeah. There's probably a few teams in the NFL that are in that position. The Bills are probably in that same spot where they're just at this point, it's can they ever beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, nothing else really matters.
The Bills, the Niners are in that situation. I don't think the Lions are in that yet.
Not yet.
But, if they keep winning in future seasons, it will get to that point where it's okay, we won the division. Now let's go to the playoffs and do something.
But that was a big deal for them this year.
Yeah.
Winning the division.
I think the Cowboys are in that spot.
Yeah. Just teams that have been, good for a long time but not had the postseason success.
I don't know if I would say – maybe Baltimore's in that spot.
Yeah, I think that they're creeping into that area.
But it's a little different there just because the AFC North, the division winner changes every year.
All the time, yeah.
And so it's not just you're winning again and again and again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You can kind of understand where Zach was coming from.
You definitely can. And we talked about this week in the office, Phil. There are different types of football misery or pain.
Oh, yeah.
The Broncos are having the pain of not having made the postseason in a long time and not knowing, how exactly do we get back to being a contender. The Dolphins ran the score up midway through the year and were playing great. And then they lose an uncompetitive game in Kansas City, and now people are like, well, do you have the right quarterback?
Yeah, they didn't win the division.
And so that's a pain of like, did we go through all this and not pick the right guy? And then you've got teams like Buffalo that you picked the right guy. You've got a good team. You made it there, and you just can't win.
Yeah.
And that's painful. And so unless you are winning a championship, there's some type of pain.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what makes the sport so compelling, is that it's not like a lot of these sports, baseball, basketball, before the season, there's like 2 or 3 teams that can win.
Yeah.
And the NFL is not like that, but it also, I think, is particularly painful because of the one and done element.
Yeah, you mean like in the postseason?
Yeah.
Yeah, just that it can be over so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the shock of losing in the postseason is really painful. Yeah, even like I would probably imagine that for Patriots fans, even winning the Super Bowl, you're like nothing really matters until
you're in the Super Bowl
again. Yeah, exactly. Like even the playoff games are probably just like, we win. We go to the AFC Championship every year.
For sure.
It just doesn't matter. We're just there. Yeah, you got to sometimes the journey and the ride makes the end more sweet.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Like I bet the Giants, when they won their Super Bowls, like those are probably among the more rewarding because you get in as a wild card team, you go on a run.
Yeah. No one expects you to do it. But even for the Broncos, like losing to the Ravens and then to the Seahawks, that pain made winning it all very gratifying.
Yeah. And there are, different franchises treat losses differently. Like I would imagine even if the Lions lose this week,
they'll be happy.
They'll talk about this season.
They'll be happy
in like a nice way. Hey, we won the NFC North for the first time. We went to the NFC title game. We won 2 home playoff games.
When you have a window, it feels a little bit more pressure too.
But in like the Panthers, for example, they talk about that 2015 Super Bowl. They're like, that was a great year.
Yeah.
Like they post about that.
Yeah.
The Broncos do not talk about 2013.
Yeah, unless it's Manning's records. That's really the only thing that came out.
Right, but like that.
The year, the team, that kind of thing.
They're not like that was a successful season.
Because
of the loss.
That was painful. Yeah.
And some teams are like, hey, we made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even like the way the Broncos talk about the 77 team or like some of these early.
It was nice.
Like it was better to make it and be okay with losing than.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like one of the things for the Bills is like, we've been really good for a long time now. Like, is our window still here? When you feel that sort of closing a little bit, you're like, oh God, the pain is more intensified.
I don't think Peyton won until his 8th season.
There's some comparisons there with the Manning and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think that everybody wants to sort of make this like Allen Mahomes sort of like the new. They want this quarterback rivalry, right? Like it's always good when you have a hero and a villain, or vice versa, or whatever you want to label them. 2 guys who are at the very top.
What would the vice versa of hero and villain be?
I mean, like which guy is what?
Oh, got it.
That's what I mean. There's only the 2, so it's but like which guy is a hero, which guy's a villain?
2 villains.
Ooh. But yes, it's nice when there's a magic to the bird. There's something, you need the 2 guys. Yeah. And so with Manning and Brady, that was like a nice sort of a rivalry. I don't know if Mahomes and Allen is that.
Yeah.
Maybe if Allen were to win one of these, then I would look at it a little differently. But until that happens.
Yeah, but that's how people talked about Brady and Manning.
Yeah, but you knew that like Manning was at a level of quarterback play that was like unseen. So I don't know.
I think it's unsettled. I do think that for him ultimately for Josh to be remembered a certain way, he's got to win eventually. But I also think just from an odds standpoint, if you continue to put yourself in these positions, you'll win one at one point.
You'll get there, yeah.
Now, it'll be really painful if you beat the Chiefs and then lost in a Super Bowl.
Oh, man. That would be terrible.
Like that, Indianapolis
can't do that.
Like beat New England finally to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then Devin Hester returned the opening kick. Into my brain, I was like, did they really just
lose the Super Bowl
finally, and now they're going to lose?
Yeah.
So
that's true. I mean, I think that the narrative on a player can really change until they're done. You know, like even for John Elway.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I think not that many people like still remember like just that he was labeled as this guy who couldn't win it all until he did, and then now all you think about is like him as a winner.
Of course.
So, yeah, your narrative can change. So we'll have to see. But there's different levels of pain.
Yeah,
I think we all. Yeah, only one team is like really, really happy.
Right.
So,
what if we're all just one big team?
That is a nice thing to think about. That is nice to think about. I like thinking about that sort of a world. Yeah. Eric, any shout outs?
Oh.
Any shout outs to get to? What's been going on? It's been sort of quiet. Oh, shout out to Northwestern. Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you wanted to do?
Basketball or what?
Yeah, I think they had a big dub.
Really?
Yeah.
Who they beat?
They beat the University of Illinois.
Ooh.
Number 10 in the country.
Nice.
First time in school history, Phil, they've beaten 2 top 10 teams in 1 year.
Who else did they beat this year?
Purdue.
Really?
Yeah.
They're the number 1 team, right, Purdue?
Yep.
Wow. Nice.
Pretty nice. A shout out to the Cats.
So they're tourney bound, probably.
Well, they also lost to one of the worst teams in college basketball. So
I saw that one. That one I remember.
That one you remember?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but we'll see.
You got those 2 wins. Those are resume
builders.
Yeah. When you check out the Lenardi, you're like, what's going on? They're like, oh, they beat,
Little early for that. You just kind of take it 1 week at a time.
Oh, I like to check just to see what's going on. I like to sort of just ride the wave a little. Up and down, I
think Mike McGlinchey said it well. If you do that in this league, you get humbled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was talking about the NFL, but he could have also been talking about the Big Ten.
He could have been. Really, you don't know what he was talking about. Yeah. And so any other shout-outs? Of course, Liz Gerald.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I was going to say, yeah.
The community.
Always working hard in the community. And Nikola Jokic, of course.
Oh, yeah. He did something.
It's just been a nice week in the NBA overall. I mean, some nice performances, I think, by a lot of guys out there.
Get fired?
Not the Bucks head coach situation. I don't like to see that, but some nice. I mean, Jokic hit a dagger 3 to beat the Pacers. I like to see that. Just continuing to put up huge numbers. Joel Embiid went crazy. I mean, his 70, when you're scoring more than 70 points, this is, I think he finished with 70. I don't think it was 72. I think it was 70.
Okay.
And then Karl Anthony Towns had 62, I think. Yeah. Same night.
Didn't his coach kind of blast him, though?
Oh, did he?
I think so.
I didn't see, because they still lost.
I think he was saying they were playing selfish basketball or something.
Oh, yeah, they lost.
I think they said that.
I think they lost to the Hornets, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're starting to see some trends in the NBA where you're like, this team's going to be really good. They're going to be a problem at the end. It's a nice time. So, yeah. Any other shout-outs?
I think so.
That's it.
That's nice.
Okay. Where's Ben Swanson?
Who knows?
Gone.
Yeah. He's been relieved. Something.
Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. For Eric Dalla, I am Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.